is it your responsibility to create a whole lesson plan?
Yes and no. Mm-hmm. So like in my first year, I had an English teacher, and she was the main English teacher at that school for like a few years already, and then she moved. So this from my second year, it was a younger teacher, and she was also my friend. Mm-hmm. And at that point, she knew what I was doing already, and that I could like communicate to the teacher. So it was pretty much all on me. Like I was basically pretty much the English teacher. And she was like there to communicate anything additional, you know.
My first year when I was there, I was under the assumption that I had to create all the lesson plans. So I did.
Yeah.
But mind you, it wasn't very hard because it was elementary school. It was like, okay, the goal of it is to teach, let's say, I like something. Mm-hmm. And like I said again, in the textbook already, there are laid out like games and songs and activities. So it was really easy to piece together
and like
one lesson plan. And
have so many notes.
Right.
For Mito, for our program, we have a whole Dropbox of lesson plans and games and
songs. Like that.
Everything's already in there. And
material,
and anyone has everything.
Right, and so, but like, for my first year, I was under the assumption I had to create it. Mm-hmm. So there was like, for a good like 3-4 months, up until the start of the new year, which is April, I was making these lesson plans, and I was giving to the teacher, I'm like, hi, I would really like to do this lesson plan for this day, XYZ, and I actually asked them for criticism back, like, do you like it and stuff, and they were like, yeah, it seems good. Mm-hmm. And so I did this unknowingly for like from September all the way to April. Mm-hmm. Then when April comes around, I find out that the teacher who sits right next to me has an English license. He got his menkyo in English teaching. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, Sensei, how did I not know this? And I sat next to you for like half the year already. And he's like, I'm like, you have an English license? He's like, yes. And I'm like, so you can teach English? He's like, yes. And I was like, Sensei, why did I have to do all this? He's like, yes. No, but in all seriousness, from that April on, it wasn't only that, on the one hand, I just found out he had an English license. Not only that, he was the leader of an association within my prefecture who are English licensed teachers. He was the leader of that. Not only that.
Wow.
So he actually went to made conferences and made presentations on how to teach English. And I'm over here like, Sensei.
Why?
Why? You're gonna do this. So I don't know about your school, but find the teacher who has the English license. Like truly, there's got to be one at least. If anything.
I mean, yeah, she's the only one that has the English
license, right?
Yeah, well, like she got she went to graduate school for English.
She went to graduate school?
Yeah.
That's amazing. No, but that's the thing, like, so for teachers there and stuff, they all have like the teaching license, but but most of them will all have like a specialty license. Mm-hmm. Like my specialty is teaching math or social science or PE and stuff. So like depending on if like they had to substitute for another class, it's like I can teach that because I have the license for it. Mm-hmm. And it can come across any like from K through 6 or K through whatever. In any case, so I did that. So as an assistant, you're not supposed to. You shouldn't be just planning the lessons by yourself. Like I just want to make that clear.
Yes. It just really depends on your school and your teachers, and if there's like material there already, like I got like one of the first advice I got from one of my senpais was like, don't try to make new lessons. Like it's okay to like, you know, recycle some stuff, and then you learn from then on like what works, what doesn't. Yeah, and that was probably the best advice.
Yeah, but also too, if you see a lesson that's not working out, please change it. Yeah, because sometimes senseis can be complicit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is that the word? Like they just say like, it's good enough, and like it affects the students, and then you know. So if you know it's not working out, you can change it. The worst that can happen is like it didn't work out then too, so you can go back to it.
Yeah.
But
they don't have fun for a day. And
yeah,
that's fine.
and it's fine. Like don't care so much about it, but care about the job.
Yeah.
But
and then you also like gauge like what your kids like what you can put in there. Like if they like anime, put anime. If they like, I don't know.
yeah, it was amazing how many people, or how surprised my kids were when I said I like Pokemon, and they're like, you know what Pokemon is?
I know.
And I looked at them like, my generation created it.
Yeah.
But
You're
yeah.
like, you know Smash Brothers?
Yeah, Smabura, girl. Let me tell you how awesome I am with Kirby.
You know Instagram? I was in high school when it was like
When it was
first
a thing,
happened.
yeah.
You know it.
Do you know Instagram? Yeah. No, but
Hey, Sensei, who's much older than me, do you know?
do you even
what
know?
Do you even know? Do you know what TikTok is?
Actually, no. But at the time, so when I was there, everyone's like, yeah, "Do you do TikTok? Do you do TikTok?" And I truly like. It was just brand new because it came after Vine and Musical.ly, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, "You should get on TikTok." And they were doing like dance and stuff,
Yeah.
and it didn't compute to me. I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you having a stroke?"
Yeah.
But
Thankfully.
I did do Kyushoku lunchtime, and I ate with my kids too. I also, there was also like break time after third period for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Nakayasumi.
Yeah, Nakayasumi, and so like I would take that time to go to around the classrooms and be like, hello, how you guys doing? Hey.
She's a much better teacher than
No.
I went and chilled.
I mean, sometimes there's times where like I just felt overwhelmed and tired. I would go to my desk and just sit there for the whole 10 minutes, and then the bell rang. I'm like, okay, gotta go to the next one.
Sometimes I would be in the English room and I'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna chill here for a while because.
Also, if you have an English room, great on you, because for 2.5 years I didn't have an English room. I would have to go to each classroom and do that.
Mine was a shared like. What is ginkan? Brass band room / English room.
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
brass
What do you
band
mean
was
by
all
English
there.
room?
It's
A room dedicated for English
literally,
learning.
yeah. Like a giant. It's almost like a multi-purpose room,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh, wow.
yeah.
It's the size of a classroom, or in this case, or a music room, if anything.
It's
And it has a chalkboard, and it has a board, and you can like set up your computer.
Yeah.
If your school is funded, maybe you'll have a projector.
We got a donation from one of our kids' grandpas
nice.
to because our TV broke in the English room, so we got this like 63-inch like flat screen.
What the
TV.
heck?
Whoa.
A donation from one of our kids' grandpas.
Oh my god. My last year I was there, they just installed the projector, and I was able to use it for half the year.
Oh my god.
And I was like, and they're like, Lexy, Sensei, look, we got an English room. And I'm like, great.
I'm leaving.
So no. And it was then I didn't have to use a CD player anymore.
Not the boombox.
Not the
anymore.
boombox. Not the booms.
Yeah. You had the tablet and just connected it.
You had a tablet?
Yeah, it was like all the computer room
And
was
so
just all
it seems
tablets.
like you should apply for Mito.
So there were certain things we were well funded on.
Yeah.
I heard there's gonna be a change in because my old fuku what is
Kocho?
it? Fuku kocho? No,
VP?
VP.
Vice principal.
Kocho sensei. No, Kyoto sensei.
Kyoto sensei.
Kyoto sensei. He was showing me like this, like in a few years they're gonna be changing like the setup of like the chalkboards, and they're considering like it being open, and then like there's a flat screen or like a touch screen in the middle.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, but it's still a chalkboard?
And so it like opens up.
What?
I know.
Wait.
So like imagine there's like 2 chalkboards here.
Yeah.
And they can like what is it? Like
Come together.
Slide?
yeah, like slide and then like open. Or like there's like different designs for it, and he was kind of giving me what is it? An outline of like different
Like a
kinds.
blueprint?
Yeah. Of like the possibilities of it.
Alright, so
So I think my school might be one of like the trial runs for that later on.
Wow.
I think it's because it's next to the Research Center for Education.
I see.
That makes sense.
This
So
is
that's a whole new thing.
This is all very dependent on if your school has money or not.
Yeah.
It really does. And like I've met with some other AETs, ALTs who were stationed out or who were placed out in the countryside or in the mountains. Their school, some schools, some high schools are specialty schools. So I had a friend who was placed in a high school that was specialized for science. So all the kids, they did do general education, but the kids who graduated from this high school went on to become engineers and science-based people because they went to a science-based school. So anyway, there was a girl who I met. She was an ALT out in an agriculture school. They had no technology. They didn't have a projector. The teachers had computers, but those were the teachers' computers. They were not used for anything else. So she had to make all her material on paper, laminated. She didn't have magnets. She had to use silly putty or whatever to stick things on her chalkboard. It was crazy. So when like
That's Inaka right there.
so it's all dependent on your school. So
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say that like I don't know, up until now, some schools do have like CD players
Yeah.
and
They're honestly
Advanced
still
boombox.
it's still getting there.
it's
Like,
getting there. Yeah.
They're trying.
Yeah.